God, I hate Zoom, and I don't mind that that's recorded. Welcome back, listeners. Andy here, as always. And I honestly reach out to today's guest as potential for both or a couple of our podcasts. I'm a fan and followed him on TikTok forever ago. But we're joined by, do I dare use the term mixologist? Is that like a no go?
Absolutely not.
Matty Rangel. Dive bar, bartender, beer slinger. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yes, dive bar bartender is fantastic. A lot of people get me mixed up when I do guest bartending shifts, and they're like, "Make me some fancy drink or do some fancy trick," and I'm like, "Dude, I talk shit. That's what I do. That's my job. I'm the other type of bartender."
It's so funny is like where I live, we have such a wide variety of options. And it's like the other night I went to this place called Honey Baby, and that's where you go for your like craft cocktail. And the hipster bartender John is such a good guy, and he can just be like, make me something fancy. And
Yep.
there's smoke and things that have been soaking in jars for God only knows how long. And but then the place where I hang out, the British Beer Company, shout out to Baby Jack. And it's the kind of place where, like, if you want a martini, they're just like, yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
it's it's to me, it's the difference between getting dressed up to go out and hanging out in like comfortable sweatpants.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's plenty of times where somebody comes in and they're like, "Oh, I want a Bellini. I want a Manhattan," and I'm like, I want a a a martini dry up neat, and I'm like, dude, I'm wearing a sweater. You're at a dive bar. There's broken TVs everywhere. Like the floor's sticky. Read the room.
Yeah,
You probably don't want to try our vermouth. Like
yeah.
you know, I don't know how long it's been open.
You blow the dust off of it to like make the drink. Yeah. Um, what made you take this to TikTok? I mean, I feel like I love dive bar bartenders. I think they have a great
Yeah.
sense of humor, and a job where you can tell people to fuck off is just like the dream. But well, yeah, what made you decide to, or was it even a decision? Did you just start doing it?
Yeah, it kind of was. It's definitely calculated. I have kind of um, it's I don't want to say it's a unique story, but it's a story that fits very well together. In that the fact that I wanted to be an actor since I was 7 years old. Since the first time I saw my dad in a play, and I was like, because I wanted to be everything when I was a kid, and I saw him turn into a different person, and I was like, oh shit, that's I can be everything doing that. So I decided to pursue acting. Life kind of got in the way, and I didn't go to college until 25.
Yeah,
And then when I went to college for a degree in theater arts, I started bartending. And I graduated with that degree a month before the pandemic hit. And nobody was hiring actors at
that's
that point.
weird. Really, it's
Yeah.
strange.
So, so I continued to support myself and I continued to bartend. And I bartended my way through the pandemic. A year into the pandemic, I was sitting there after barring with a couple of buddies who are in predominantly in a lot of my videos. Dan, he's the bigger guy with a really big beard.
Okay.
And Cadillac, he's the one with the glasses, no facial hair. Uh, and we're sitting around after barring and drinking, and I'm like, man, I wanted to give this up. I wanted to I want to pursue my passion for the rest of my life. I don't want to be a bartender the rest of my life. I want to be an actor. And they're both sitting there, and Dan is a huge film buff. He went to school for film, and Cadillac actually went to Second City in Chicago for a while.
Oh wow. Okay.
Super awesome,
Yeah.
funny guy. And they both were like, well, do it. Go online and do it. Like everything's turning virtual. Go online and do it, and we'll help you out. And I was like, well, all right, I've never done this TikTok thing, but let me download it and see. And I downloaded it and watched a couple videos. And then the next day I woke up and texted them both. And Dan was like, yeah, come down to the bar. I'm working right now. It's slow. We'll make a video. So I made a video and it went viral. And next thing you know, 6 years later, 440,000 followers later,
That's
here we are.
crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Congrats. Um, yeah, and it's funny. Like when I talk to the guys on Bar Talk, I'm like, oh, this guy, Matty. I'm like, we're gonna try to schedule him on the show. They're like, I don't know who that is, and I sent them the clip. They're like, oh, I fucking know who that guy is.
Yep.
uh, do you hope this spirals into an acting career?
Yeah. I mean,
And is there a fear that you will always be cast as the bartender?
yeah, absolutely. I've been there before. I've seen it before. Personally, there one guy who started out doing videos online was on Cocaine Bear. Another guy was just in Weapons. There was a person that I did background work with. I was on an episode of Chicago Med, and she was the day player, and she had lines, and I was right next to her, and she
Yeah.
was a Chicago comedian that I saw on TikTok, and was like, oh shit, she's got like 120,000 followers, and she's got a line in an NBC TV show, so I've seen it firsthand happen. And I mean, that's the goal. I don't want to bartend the rest of my life. I do want to make this my forever job. Hopefully TV, movies, things like that. But right now I'm just doing what I can do, and continue to create and work, and try to get my voice out there.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's just how things have changed so much. There's
Mhm.
a local stand-up comic that you made me think of who um on his TikTok, his day job was a janitor in elementary school. So he would do like elementary school lunch reviews and like
Yep.
skits, so like recreating the interactions of him with the kids and whatnot. And he got a deal in a commercial gig for like some ad that runs during the Red Sox game, and he's supposed to be the guy who like mows the lawn on the field or some shit like that. And like now he's on the TV constantly, and it's
Yep.
different commercial gigs. You just never know how it's going to happen. It's such a you know, weird kind of like system that's set up with the social media and
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. If you would have told me in shit, even 2019, 2020, I didn't start this till 2021. I refused. Actually, it's there. It's in my memories from yesterday. I reposted a post on Facebook that said, "I'm fucking bored, but I'm not bored enough to download TikTok." And almost
uh,
exactly a year later, I
yeah.
downloaded TikTok, and that's the reason why I have all of this, stuff. Um, but it's just funny how that happens. Like if you would have told me in 2020 that uh I was going to be known as the online bartender, I would have laughed at you, and just
Yeah.
you know look at me now, professors. You'd had me memorize Shakespeare, and now I'm just swearing at people on social media.
Do you I feel like you never have trouble coming up with weird shit that happens at dive bars, but I mean,
Yeah.
are there things that you kind of like be like, that would be kind of funny, but no one will believe it, or it's like too crass for even TikTok? Like, do you have to edit out some of the weird shit?
For sure, there are things that I have to watch. Like me and my friends will, come up with an idea, and then I'll be like, "Oof, yeah, maybe that might be going a little too over the line, something like that. One of the ones that I did recently that I was like, I hope it'll get nicked for is the dive bar bathroom attendant. Just because it's like, all right, it's in a bathroom, and maybe like,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
you know,
I don't think I saw
insinuating
that one.
somebody's
Yeah,
yeah, it's good, it's good.
yeah.
Insinuating somebody's pooping. But I had that idea. I went down to Texas for Herd House. It's kind of like a hospitality get together
Mhm.
with people in the industry. It's awesome. If you've never heard of the card game Herd, It's basically Cards Against Humanity, but service industry related.
Oh, okay.
Super fun game. Yeah, it's really cool. And Chandler is an amazing person. She's been in the industry for almost 30 years, and she created it during the pandemic. Super fun. I also have an expansion pack, so you can get the
Oh,
Wisconsin
yours.
expansion pack
Oh,
for me.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, she's an amazing, talented person. But so she uh, does this kind of thing every year where it's like a hospitality thing with service industry people. And when I was down there, I think this was my third year going down there. Every Thursday, she goes line dancing because it's down in Texas.
Yeah.
So you have to go line dancing on Thursdays. So she took us line dancing, and I went to the bathroom, and it's the first time I ever saw a bathroom attendant. And I go to the bathroom, the bathroom
It's
attendant,
so uncomfortable.
yeah,
Yeah,
hands me paper towels and
yeah.
things like this. And I was like, this is so fucking weird. And I walk out, and as soon as I walk out, I just start fucking laughing. And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "You'll see in a couple weeks." And I get back home, and I grab my buddy Josh, and I bring him into this bathroom, and it's a dive bar. It's a neighborhood dive bar, so it's
Yeah.
a little cleaner than a dive bar bathroom, but it's tiny. It used to be a house. It's a tiny bathroom, one
Okay.
toilet, one urinal, one sink. That's it.
Yeah.
And I pull him into this bathroom, and I'm like, "Hey, just act like a bathroom attendant." And he was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Just act like a bathroom attendant inside of this dive bar." And he was like, "Okay, I got you." And we go through this, and we make this video, and I think it's the first time we laughed that hard in a long time. And it was just stupid funny, you know. And we were just riffing off each other, but that getting back to the question was like that one I was kind of afraid of. I was like, I don't know, like is social media gonna peg me because it kind of looks like I'm, going to the bathroom. Like what's,
Yeah.
what's the take on that? And I'm just like, it's fucking hilarious, but I don't want to get dinged for, an idea like that. So
It
yeah, you got to be careful for sure.
yeah, I mean it drives me crazy and I always tell people that it feels like I'm dating Facebook where it's like,
Hmm.
are you mad? I feel like you're mad. You say you're fine, but I'm not getting any
Oh yeah,
like, interact like what's going on? And it's
oh
just
yeah,
I just wish they made it clear, exactly what was okay, what isn't okay.
yeah.
And
They've definitely been throttling me the past. I mean, I had a really great 6 months, and then the middle of this month, they just were like, "Hey, we're changing some stuff," and now I'm like, I'm getting,
can you tell me
you
what you're
know,
changing?
20, I'm getting 20% of the views that I
Yeah.
that I usually get. It's tough, but it's like it's happened to me before, and I'm just like, all right, just keep posting, keep doing the same thing you've been doing, and it'll eventually right the ship. But yeah, it's she's definitely a fickle bitch.
Yeah. What was the video that you posted that you're like, oh shit, I think this is actually gonna work? Like, was there one specific?
Yeah, the second video I ever posted. So the first video I posted, I was literally just trying to figure out how to edit. And it's me running my hands through my hair. That was it. And then the
Okay.
next the next day, I woke up hungover as shit because we were at the bar till 6 in the morning. Uh, and text Dan, and he was like, "Yeah, come make this video with me." And I was like, "I just got this simple, stupid idea. We play bar dice in
Yeah.
Wisconsin,
Okay.
and I have this idea where the bartender is just like overzealous about playing bar dice, and every like you'll jump up from the cooler and yell and you yell dice, and you'll come out of the closet and yell dice, and like you'll go to grab a beer and instead pull out the dice and go dice, and that's it. And you do that like 10 times. And like I'll come out of the bathroom and you'll yell dice and like slam the dice on the bar top. And he was like, "Yeah, I can do that." And we did that, filmed it, edited it, and I posted it, all within like 10 minutes. And I was like, "Oh shit, this is quick and easy." And that's what I had always thought about maybe doing stuff online, but I was like, I don't know how to like import a video into a computer and then get software so that I can edit it and cut
Yeah.
it down. And I was just really intimidated about editing. And that's why I had never done anything before. And I did that video and was like, oh, this is really simple. It's easy now. Like you can do
Do
it
you
all on
edit
your phone.
like you edit on your phone?
Yeah, yeah. I edit everything on my phone. Um, and it's just super simple and easy. And I was like, okay, let me post it and see. And I posted it to Facebook and TikTok, and I I mean the amount of comments that I got, it just went fuck crazy viral in the ensuing 2 days, and just blew the fuck up. I think Facebook it got over a half a million views, and TikTok it got like I think like maybe 200,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
And to me at the time that was just fucking insane, you
Yeah.
know. Now it's just like, oh yeah, that video got 700,000 views, cool, nice. But it's just like, you know, every step of the way in the social media game, your expectations for a video are going to keep getting higher and higher and higher. But I remember literally I had to turn my phone off because it was just like ding 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 ding.
Oh, that's gotta be, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And now I don't have my notifications on. And like a lot of my friends don't understand still to this day. They're like, "Hey, did you get that thing that I sent you?" And I was like, "You're gonna have to text it to me. Like
Yeah.
I am not gonna get a notification on social media. I can't get a notification on social media. And as soon as you send it to me, it disappears because there's 500 more that
Oh,
just
because
came
it
in.
just gets
You know?
lost in the line. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It gets lost in the sauce. They're TikTok kind of has a way where you can filter out people that you know, and Instagram and Facebook. Instagram has it more better than Facebook. Facebook, it kind of is just like, hey, we kind of maybe prioritize your friends
Oh,
sometimes,
it's
you know, so
so,
I
and then
still don't get
sometimes like people gets like stuck in spam. Like it's crazy. Like I don't
it.
under.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the somehow it's so popular, but the least user friendly thing ever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Insanely. Yeah. Insanely not user friendly for a lot of things, a lot of reasons. And I mean, even creator friendly, like Facebook came up with this editing app, and I've been trying to use it lately because things are getting bogged down. So I'm like, okay, maybe because they talk about like originality and like they like you using their editing software,
Yeah.
algorithm can tell. So I started, instead of doing it on my phone, I started doing it still on my phone, but on their editing platform where I'm like cutting down videos and doing things like that. But every 5 cuts that I make,
Yeah.
the app freezes, and I have to get out of the app and go back in the app.
Ugh.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
how the fuck, like, fix your shit?
Yeah.
Like,
Did you beta
I
test
mean,
this?
yeah.
Yeah.
TikTok has been doing that for a couple months now too, to where I'll try and edit a video, I'll stick a video in there, and the audio will be perfectly normal, but then my video will be like 10 seconds behind, and I'm like, what the
Oh,
fuck is going on?
that's weird.
You know? And I'm like, you want me to use your editing software? Fix your fucking editing software, you know?
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's my phone. I'm gonna like, and that's the thing is I have 90 drafts in my TikTok. I'm like, how the like if I go and get a new phone, those are gonna be gone, you know?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
either I have to fucking like, what do I do to fix this, situation? But it's ridiculous sometimes with this stuff where they're like, you need to use our stuff. Also, it kind of sucks.
Yeah. And you need help, you're gonna have the worst time getting a hold of anybody.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I have managed to get someone. They weren't even from the right, like what I needed, but I'm like, it's a human being that maybe they can point me in the right direction.
Yeah.
And all I remember is like when the rep comes on the chat, it literally said Satan has joined the chat, and I'm like, yeah, no shit. But yeah, it sucks. But I mean, there's great aspects. I mean, my thing is like, so anytime there's new social media, I always try to sign up quickly so I can, if it starts to take off, we have like the username saved. So like on Instagram, we're Inebri-art 6 because I joke, I'm like, yeah, we were 5 too late. And so we have a TikTok that I just haven't spent the time to figure anything out. And my kids like, your TikTok's garbage, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I don't. And then they turned around and started one, and they have like 20,000 followers. So it's just it's crazy. Like, if you
Yeah.
find your niche, that people just latch onto it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that was the biggest thing when we first started doing this. Like, everybody was like, you need a niche, you need a niche, you need a niche. And I'm like, what's niche more than bartender? Like,
Yeah,
and there are a lot of people in like a lot of different professions too that can relate to it. It's I don't want to say it's similar, but being a nurse, being a doctor, being a teacher, being in other types of helpful like things, like a lot of people can relate and be like, oh yeah, yeah, double, yep, I get you,
yeah,
things like that, or yeah, getting screamed at, yep, try being a teacher, and it's like, yes, I mean, kind of same but different,
yeah. And
so
then you get the bartenders who are gonna like it. Then you did the video about the emotional support regular,
yeah,
so like they get it from almost a different aspect. But then
yeah,
there's those people who think they're the emotional support regular,
yeah.
which is always that awkward point when like you're sitting at the bar and they've done last call and the bouncer's like pushing people out and you're not moving and other people are like, what? I thought I was on the inside, you know?
Yep. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and then you get the other side of that where it's like, all right, you let one stay, okay, two, three, four, and then the next, there's fucking 15 people that are like, no, 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 we get to stay, we get to stay, right? And I'm like,
You
at a
can't all
certain
stay.
point,
Yeah.
you gotta fucking cut it off, man. But yeah, no, I made a video about that. A couple different styles of that video, but probably my favorite one is the one where I had my buddy stand there and I'm like, this is after bar,
Yeah.
and I have my buddy stand there and I'm like, I'm just gonna be like screaming, like yelling at people to get out, and you like start trying to leave every time, and every time I'll stop you, and I'm like, get the fuck out of the bar, every single one of you pieces of shit, get the fuck out of the. No, dude, you're good, come here,
Yeah.
stay, get the fuck out, why are none of you moving? Like, and he's just like, uh it
Yeah.
was good, and I mean that, yeah, that shit's true, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, get out, I fucking look at you, I'm looking right at you, start moving,
Yeah.
start moving. It's just like, uh is he talking to me or no?
Did you have to get like special permission from the bar owner? Like, how's that work?
Yeah, I'm very direct and with what I need and everything, and um almost for the most part, with the places that I work at, the owners of the bar, um they take this opportunity and situation as something that's unique, and it's it's somewhat of a special circumstance, but also, I don't want to say I'm a special person, but I am a reliable person, that isn't gonna fuck them
Wait,
over,
I thought you said you were
with
a bartender.
um so I'm not gonna screw the company over,
Yeah.
and they know that. um and everything everywhere on my social media, it's like, hey, this is my opinions, like the bar isn't involved with this at all, I'm just doing this at a bar,
Yeah.
specifically, so it's a give and take, and I'm in a small town, there's only 70,000 people in here, our downtown is pretty small, so everybody really knows everybody, and I've been either working or going to these bars for years now. So I know, and I have a good relationship, with the bar owners. So a lot of the times, I have a key, I have a code, and a lot of the times I'll just be like, hey, coming in, 2 hours before shift to do some stupid shit. And they're like, all right, clean up after yourself, and it's for the most part with stuff too, kind of a carte blanche blank check with like, yeah, if I have to open 3 beers, I open 3 beers,
Yeah.
and things like that, and that's they're just like, that's part of the business, man. And a lot of the times, they're, I don't want to say a lot of people because I still am in a small town, but a decent amount of people come to the bar to see the bars that I do my videos in.
Yeah.
And so they know that that stuff kind of evens out at the end of the day.
Yeah. So it's worth the 3 beers that you open. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a partnership, it's a relationship, but it's with anything, it's, knowing when, you have to get to a certain point to not overstep and things like that. And,
Yeah.
it's a partnership with the, I'd say 3 bars that I work at and go to.
Yeah. We used to record bar talk at one of the guys' bars, and for a little while, and I'm not opposed to doing it more. It's just it's rough, man. Like we used to shoot a YouTube show called Bar Talk Day Drinking, and it would be 3 pairs of people trying 4 different drinks, and like each episode had a theme. And it just got to the point like we would start recording at like 10:30 in the morning, and then we'd stop recording and we'd make sure everyone had lunch. And Plymouth, the way that Plymouth is laid out is there's like 2 streets that run parallel that are about a mile long, and on those streets there's about 40 bars and restaurants. So after lunch you'd go get a beer at one place, the next thing you know it's 10:30 at night and you're completely shit faced and you're like, this is ruining 2 days, a day to shoot,
Yeah,
a day to recover, then I have to, and it just became like it's so costly to do. I'm like, so
yeah,
it's tough.
yeah, yeah. That's definitely a gauntlet for sure.
Yeah, but I mean it's the industry in general. Like
Yeah,
mostly what we do is we run events at bars and breweries, and like that in and of itself, like you kind of have to like really self monitor and be like, all right, well, I'm an hour and a half away from home, so let's drink the session IPA and not the 12%
yeah,
stout that I want. So it's tough.
yeah, yeah. No, definitely. It's, I mean, similar with me and my days off. Like it's like, all right, yesterday I was like, all right, finally get a day off, and I'm like, get out of the bar and not do that. And then they're like, oh, we have a fantasy draft, and I go, all right, see you guys at the bar, but I'm just gonna draft and I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
I stayed there all night.
I was gonna
So
say, did that work out? We call it the vortex. Like you pop
yep,
in, like, "Oh, I'm
yeah,
gonna go for a couple beers, and then next thing you know, the lights are coming on. They're like last call, and you're like, fuck, I did it
yeah,
again.
yep.
Yeah.
One of the bars I work at is called the Void, and you step
Oh,
into the void and you get
yeah,
sucked in. Yeah,
that's a great bar name. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. So you said you get to do like guest bartending spots now?
yeah. I do. So I have I don't know what you call it, a list of kind of packages that I
Yeah.
do, that I send out to people that are interested. Anybody can go on my link tree and click the business inquiry and the guest ship button and send me an email and be like, hey, I have this bar you might be interested in, and I'll come back and respond and be like, hey, here's my rates. Let's see what we can do and make something happen. And for the most part, I've had great experiences. Going to San Diego multiple times, Phoenix multiple times, Fort Worth multiple times, San Antonio, St. Augustine, Chicago, Louisville, Kentucky, Houston, all those places that I've been to that, you know, wanted me to guest shift out there. I went out there and, we all had a great time and had some fun.
That's cool. Do you find yourself bartending less and just kind of like glad handing and chit chatting with people and shit? Or do you
Yeah.
like, yeah,
So the first couple times I did it, about the first year I did it, it was still more of like bartending. Now I'm getting into the so I kind of switch it up a little bit because I can't really bartend. Everybody wants to talk to me, and
right.
take
Get your
pictures.
pictures and yeah.
Yeah, have me sign things and stuff like that. And then like, show me pictures of their bar and like all this stuff, and kind of pick my brain and talk with me about things. And so I used to have just one package, and it was I go to the bar for 5 hours. If I'm bartending with somebody, we split the tips, and then I make technically X amount of dollars. And if that amount isn't met, the bar pays the difference.
Oh, that's
So
actually
it kind
pretty
of,
solid.
yeah, it kind of incentivized the bar to
Yeah.
try and make it busy so that they don't have to pay me, have their patrons pay for me. And it just started getting bogged down so much that like I really can't bartend anymore when I do these guest shifts. So
Yeah.
I started making different packages where it's like a meet and greet package, and then like there's another package too where it's like, yeah, I bartend, but like I don't really bartend. So
Hmm.
I don't I I keep my hand out of that tip cookie jar now.
Yeah.
And I'm having brand sponsor me, like Fernet,
Oh,
Telemorgu,
that's cool.
Escalone, things like
Yeah.
that, and having them go, hey, hang out with this dude with our product, and
Right.
the big brands pay for me now, so that I can invest my time in talking with the customers and fans and people like that, and then talking with the bar owner about their social media and kind of getting that up over on off the ground, and doing some videos with them and having them post it. And it's face recognition with stuff like that too on social media. So I mean I did when I was in San Diego, I did kind of a meet and greet slash um social media brainstorm session with this bar called Star Bar, and they made several videos with me, and that's all we did is we shot the shit, we took pictures, we made some videos, and then the GM just like really picked my brain, and we talked for 2 or 3 hours about social media and like tips and tricks and things like that. So that's more of the way I'm going now instead of guest bartending, but
Yeah.
it's kind of out of necessity, Like, yeah, you can throw me behind the bar and I can bartend, but
Yeah.
like you throw me
That,
behind the bar and one person grabs me and wants to talk to me for 15 minutes, I'm not going to be a great bartender,
right. And then you're gonna have the other bartender because you have to have another bartender staffed, and then they'd
Yep,
be like, "This guy served open like 3 beers and he's taking half the tips. That's bullshit."
yep, yeah,
I don't
yeah,
care who he is.
yep, yep.
So it's
My
fair to them.
biggest, yeah, that's one of my biggest things is when I talk to people about guest bartending, it's like this has to be fair for that other bartender that's with me.
Yeah.
I never want somebody to feel like they're you know entitled to 80% of the tips and then getting upset and like things like that. So I'm like, we need to make this right in a certain way, and that's why I have started moving towards this rep style situation to where it's like, all right, let me come in and try and bring in 10, 20, 30 people, give this free liquor away, and put money in this bartender's pocket,
Yeah.
and then also put the rep money in my pocket, and we can all pay our bills.
Yeah. And
So
that's like we look at our business very similar as like majority of the time we're charging someone to attend our event. But if they're there and not drinking or not getting food or whatever, then why are we here? Like that's not helping you. So it's like there's this fine line of like trying to make sure that the people have a good time, but also the bartenders and the bar itself is making the additional money because they're giving us generally a space for free to work in.
yeah,
So but that's cool. Um, so first trip to Boston, I hear.
second,
Oh, your second
second,
trip. Oh, okay, so
yeah,
you're
I was
literally just coming out for the baseball game.
Yeah, so I was there for a couple of years ago, for hot second. I think I was there for like 2.5 days, something
Yeah,
like that. Hung out, had a good time. It was mid-October and gross and rainy, so I didn't really get to see too much.
yeah,
But I hopped around from bar to bar. Really, really awesome service industry person of mine. She owns a mobile pub. It's called the Black Harp. Her and
oh,
her husband. Yeah, super cool, awesome
yeah,
place. Her and her husband came and picked me up, and they were like, "We'll chauffeur you around for wherever," and which is great because Boston streets are made for fucking horses, not cars.
yes, this is very
Um,
true. And then like the
uh,
GPS says turn left, and you turn left, and it's like, oh, not that one.
yep, yep.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was really fun. It was really cool. They took me to the bar that's underneath the warning track at Fenway,
yep,
which was super fucking cool. I am a huge sports nerd. I love
okay,
anything and everything sports. And it's been a dream of mine to go to Fenway. I am a diehard Brewer fan through and through. I cannot fucking stand the Cubs. I went to Wrigley for the first time last summer, and it was absolutely fucking beautiful. It was
That's
amazing.
cool.
And I'm like, fuck this team, but your stadium's cool. Um, but it was super fun. It was great, and I wanted to knock Fenway off my bucket list as well. There are a couple other places that I would really love to go and see. I wish I were around for old Yankee Stadium, but new Yankee Stadium will do. PNC would be another one. The Orioles Stadium, and then the Giants
Yeah,
Stadium as well would be
it's
just amazing to see. I got to tour Petco. That was amazing. But yeah, there are just so many things and places that I want to see. Boston and Fenway was on the list,
yeah,
and I had toyed with this idea. And every now and then it's fucking 1 in the morning. You've had 2, 4, 7 beers, and you look at flights. And I looked at a flight. One of my a buddy of mine, he was in the service industry. He passed away a couple of years ago, and I always joke and say he wasn't a Red Sox fan. His girlfriend was a Red Sox fan at one
yeah,
point,
yeah,
and then they broke up, and he just continued to be a Red Sox fan just to piss people off. So he would always go and see the Sox when they came to Miller Park, and so after he passed away, a bunch of us get a bus together and we go to see the Sox every time they come. And they've come the past 2 years to Milwaukee, and this year and next year, Milwaukee's going to them, and they kind of alternate. So I was like, well, we're not going to Boston, are we? And everybody's like, no, 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 no. I'm not gonna get a $500 ticket to go to Boston, and then go to and then the hotel and all that
yeah.
stuff, and then the game ticket and blah blah blah. And I'm like, all right, hang on. And I look and I see when they're playing, and I'm like, all right, there's a day game on the 8th, and I'm like, a lot of flights out of Chicago are pretty fucking early. Let me see the latest flight. So I look and I look it up, and I'm like, all right, this flight, you fly Chicago at 8 a.m., land at 11 a.m. in Boston. It's 15 minutes from the airport to
Oh, it's
Fenway.
right. It's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everything in Boston is right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we can get to the game on time with plenty of time to spare. And then and I do the calculations, and I'm like, all right, because of the pitch clock, it's about 2 hours and 40 minutes. And I'm like, all right, so that'll get us out at about 4:15. Let's look at the latest flight. There's a 6:48. There's a 6:42 flight, and it gets us back in Chicago at 9 p.m. And I'm like, oh, we can do this. And then I look at and I put all the totals in. I
Yeah.
put all the totals in, and I'm like, $151 for the flight. And I'm like,
Wait, what? Really?
$151 for the flight. And I go, okay,
That's
uh,
crazy.
I'm probably going to pay more for Fenway tickets. Let me look at Fenway tickets. And I look at the Fenway tickets. First deck on the first base sideline, $42.50. And I'm like, okay,
We're
done,
going.
sold. Here's my credit card. And I literally I grabbed a few buddies and I said, hey, I am getting this ticket right now. If you want to get it, I guarantee you're either gonna have trouble with the flight, or it's gonna go up the price, or like things like that. I'm getting this right now. If you want to go, get it right now. And one of my buddies is the only one that got
Yeah.
it, and he got it, and he was like, "Fuck it, dude, I'm going." And the great thing about it is that he has so many points with the airline we're flying with. His fucking ticket there and back was $11.50.
That's yeah.
So he's flying to Boston with me for the day for less than $60.
He's not even gonna get a beer at Fenway for
Yeah,
$11.
yeah.
That's funny.
Um,
Yeah, it's I am not a sports fan. I love hockey. Um, but I love watching sport, like especially playoff sports in a bar. I mean,
yeah,
I don't even care what sport it is. It's
yeah,
just everyone's engaged. It's fun, yelling, screaming.
yeah.
It's one of the best things, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's it's camaraderie. It's just like I mean, shit. We were watching. I don't really get into hockey all that much.
Yeah,
But the women's Wisconsin Badgers college team was in the finals yesterday,
Oh,
and
nice. Did they win?
obviously it's Wisconsin. You pop
Yeah.
it up in there when they fucking win the championship. Like we were all like, "Fuck yeah, let's go, girls!"
Yeah. All of a sudden,
You know,
everyone has
everybody
their
in the car,
favorite
like,
player.
yeah, yeah. And I think just the month prior in the Winter Olympics, I want to say 6 or 8 people on the team for the women's team were Wisconsin Badgers. So like they just
Oh,
won
nice.
a national championship and a
And
and a
gold
gold
medal.
medal,
Yeah.
within a month of each other. And I'm like, these ladies are badass, So it's and I want to say the only two women's hockey games that I'm going to watch this year are probably those two games right there,
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, for those days, I am 100% fan,
Yeah.
usually anything USA. And then, if I have to have a dog in a fight, it's got to be something from Wisconsin,
Sure.
other than technically hockey.
You always got to
Thanks.
root for the local guy, you know?
Yeah. Thanks, Blackhawks. Wisconsin doesn't get a hockey team. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we root. I guess technically there are a couple different ways you can go for it. So our minor league hockey team is the minor league team for
Predators.
Nashville's
Yeah.
team. Yeah, and then in the city that I live in, we have a company. You've probably heard of them, Johnson Wax. They do like Windex
Oh,
and
yeah. Yeah.
rain, yeah, all
Yeah.
that stuff. They were founded in Racine. So there's a fucking multi-billionaire that still lives here, and I believe him and his wife own the Minnesota Wild. So
Oh, cool.
we have connections to two teams kind of fairly close.
Yeah.
So you have a mixed bag of Nashville, Chicago Blackhawks, and Minnesota
The
Wild
Wild
fans.
fans.
Yeah, in
That's
my
kind of
area.
fun, though. That way, like, I love being the kind of squeaky wheel's not the asshole, I guess, because again, I'm not like a huge sports fan, and people start talking about Patriots, and Tom Brady always comes up, and I'm like, wait, is he the one that cheats? And they get fucking pissed.
Yeah.
But
I always like to see when I go to like an area, I'm like, all right, you don't have a sports team. Like, what is your sports team? Like, so like when I went to Vermont, like they were like, we're still in like the Massachusetts kind of
yeah,
spectrum, but then there are some people that are like, well, we're Philly fans too, and then like, oh, some people are like, well, we're New York fans. When I went to Des Moines, Iowa, I asked the same thing, and their big thing is that they have the AAA team for the Cubs, so
yeah,
you see a lot of Cubs things there, but then you see a lot of Kansas City Royals and St. Louis Cardinals because that's kind of ish in the realm too, so it's just a mixed bag of stuff. It's always interesting to see, you know where the loyalty kind of like spreads off to.
yeah. Before I let you go, I want to tell you one little story about my favorite dive bar and see if you have a similar it's true dive bar nonsense. So it's on this little one-way street off of the
Yeah.
main drag, and there's kind of like a town parking lot. And two guys started debating on who was the fastest. So in true dive bar style, they were like, all right, next Tuesday we're gonna have the race, and like the drunken idiots just shut down the one-way street all by themselves, and it became like a monthly thing where like it became who's the fastest in the pub, and they'd do like a 50-yard sprint down the street, half in the bag. um do you have a comparable story in your dive bar?
Oh yeah, we've had plenty of races. One of my favorites, my buddy Cadillac and Ben. There's a video of them just fucking hammered at 3 in the morning, trying to race each other. And I don't want to. Both of them, I would say, were athletic in the past.
Yeah, it's
But
always how it starts.
yeah. But yeah, it was the slowest race I've ever seen in my entire life. racing to a corner of the street. So that just kind of reminds me of that. But you
Yeah.
know, I am personally trying to. I have been trying to get this off the ground forever now at our neighborhood dive bar. We have a really nice patio out back. And in the winter, we kind of just like pull everything to the side. So it's just like an open area where, you know, the snow can fall and we can snow blow it out of the way. But I always proposed because every year we get a Christmas tree. And I said, we should every December 26th get the tree, bring it out back, and whoever can throw the tree the furthest wins like a bottle of Jameson. And they're just
Yes.
like, our insurance would not
Yeah.
okay that, you know, and I'm just like, just fucking
Just don't
come
tell
on,
them.
let's do it. You know, the
Yeah.
fucking annual tree toss at MKE.
Yeah.
And you know, the bar owner kind of doesn't want to do that, but you know, I feel like if I keep pestering him, he'll come around.
Yeah. I love that. That kind of just like where everyone feels like they're part of the bar where they'll be like, hey, what was they did a chili cook off, you know, just all just random shit of whatever. And
Yeah.
it always starts with, oh, I make the best chili. And some other guy at the end of the bar, oh, no, I make the best chili. And then, like, you know, next thing you know, it's chili
Yeah.
cook off. So,
You
but
put
yeah, I love
noodles in
that
yours,
shit.
fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. But Matt, I want to say thank you. Where can our listeners go? What's your TikTok handle? And
Yeah.
you have a
Um,
website? I don't even.
yeah, so I am currently working on a website that should be up in the next few weeks. So and it'll be my handle, the real Matty Rangel. You can find me if you find me on any social media platform and want to go to a different social media platform. You can always click my link tree up at the top, and you will be able to find every single one of my social medias on there. But for the most part, my TikTok is the real Matty R. And then my Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook is the real Matty Rangel.
Do you get a lot of people trying to knock off like clone account shit, like stealing your stuff?
Yeah. Facebook a decent amount. Every now and then I'll try and look it up and like, or somebody will send me a thing and be like, hey, this person like sent me a friend request or this person sent me a page request. Is it you? And I'm like, no, it's not me. Fucking delete it. They have 7 friends, and you know, there's just a picture of me.
Yeah,
You know,
and that's got to be so weird.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
cool.
happens all the time, and you know, I also have other. So there's this one like she was. I can't remember her name. I think it's like Gabby or something. She's on TikTok, but I had to block her, and I don't know if it's her or if it's spam friend or like what is it called? Fan accounts of hers that keep stealing my stuff, like word for word.
Oh,
And I'm
weird.
like, you know, if
Yeah,
it's you, like you're a piece of shit. Fuck that.
yeah,
You know, if it's somebody that's literally just trying to use your face and like steal, you know, my shit and put them together, fine, whatever. But yeah, I've had to block several of those accounts too, and it's you know, everybody's always like, oh, like uh, what is it? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery,
yeah,
and they don't remember the second half of that quote, which is, you know, that mediocrity can attest to greatness. Is that like, yeah, like it's flattering sometimes to be like, yeah, I created a viral trend, but then, you know, at the same time, it's like, hey, stop stealing my video and making money off of it, you
yeah.
know?
I feel like it's flattering the first time because you're like, oh my god, I've kind of made
Yeah,
it, and then the
it's
700th
yeah.
time you're like, seriously, knock it off.
It's insane the amount of trends that I've made in the industry with relation to videos. It's just like I was talking with the GM at Star Bar about that, and like I
Yeah.
was like you know, I said that I was like do you know the trend where it's like $5 on pump 2 and they jump under the tap handle and try and pour it out of their mouth? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I made that one. That was one of my first like crazy viral videos.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And he was like, which other ones? And I'm like, the girl bartender walking in versus the guy bartender walking in, and the
Oh
girl
yeah.
bartender has like all their shit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I created that one. And what do we do when the tatted up baddie bartender calls us babe?
Oh my god, I've
Um,
seen that
I yeah,
so many times. Yeah.
I created that one, and he's like, that's fucking insane. Like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, like if it's fucking funny, it's fucking funny,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Awesome, man. Well, officially, if you're in Massachusetts for more than 8 hours, hit me up. We'll give you a tour of Plymouth of all the best spots. And
Yeah,
best of luck, man. I think what you're doing is
yeah, absolutely.
fantastic. So,
Appreciate
listeners,
it.
you can find us here again next week, and make sure you follow Matty.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/Inebri-art to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at Inebri-art.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at Inebri-art or at Inebri-art6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebri-art, and all the other shows on the Inebri-art Network, which you can find at Inebri-art.com. Thanks again for listening.